Do you believe that FBI agents should go to the home of a father in Philadelphia suburbs?
I'm not going to second guess the judgment of the career agents on the ground who made the determination.
But your job is to second guess and look at what they're doing. Your job is to review what they do. Your job is to protect the American people from a tyrannical FBI storming the home of an American family.
I could not disagree more with your description of the FBI as tyrannical.
You don't believe it's tyrannical that FBI agents were a part of storming a father's home in suburban Philadelphia?
Mr. Chairman.
Time of the gentleman's expired.
They did not storm his house. They came to his door. They knocked on his door and identified themselves. They asked him to exit. He did without incident.
All right, good news tonight as pro-life activist Mark Houck was acquitted by a jury in Pennsylvania earlier today. This was after he was raided and arrested by the FBI, some 25 agents in September in front of his family, guns drawn, and he was charged with violating what's called the FACE Act.
And there's a bang on my door, and the doorbell's rung like 30 times or something. It just keeps ringing, ringing, ringing. Well, I said, well, who is it? And they said, it's the FBI.
On September 23rd, 2022, Mark Houck's children awoke to FBI agents banging on their front door.
I was scared and I looked out the window. There was a lot of police there. And I saw guns pointing at Brony and Daddy.
They were all the way lined down my driveway, and I had agents on my porch with long guns.
I was shaking. I didn't even really know why he even was arrested.
Those authorities were there to arrest their father at the direction of President Joe Biden's DOJ.
Okay, let's run the video here, and why don't you explain to people where you are in proximity to the Planned Parenthood facility, and this guy keeps coming up to you, and tell us what happens from your perspective. There's the guy in the yellow, and you're the guy that he's approaching. So what happened?
Sure. So at this point, he's about a foot away from my son after already having one altercation with him. And now he's making my son extremely nervous. Friends coming over that's out there praying, redirecting him. My son moves behind me. I can tell he's visibly scared. There proceeds to be further insults at me, directed at my son, about me. And at this point, I step in and I tell Mr. Love, you'll see right now, to go back to where he normally stands. So I walk him there and tell him to stop talking to my son. He doesn't have any permission to talk to my son. Next thing I know, he turns around and he's talking to my son again, and then you see the push.
Okay, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but didn't you face up to 11 years in jail for this?
That's correct. Yes, I did.
And you're not even in front of the facility. Isn't he down the block from the facility?
He was well away from the entrance. And the FACE Act, the federal act that they charged here, is about access to the clinics. It's not about dealing with issues down the sidewalk. And this issue should have been in the municipal court. It actually was. And the municipal court threw it out because Mr. Love wouldn't show up for trial. The Philadelphia Police Department didn't want to do anything with it. The DA didn't want to do anything with it. Civil Affairs weren't doing anything with it. He had to file a private criminal complaint in Philadelphia Municipal Court, so it's at the state level. Preliminary hearing comes, case is dismissed. 5 days later, on April 27th, I get a target letter from the Department of Justice, Eastern District of Philadelphia. Have your attorneys contact us. You're a target of a federal grand jury investigation. My attorney contacts the Assistant U.S. Attorney and says, you have no case. My client is innocent, and there's case law in your district against this. But should you want to indict him, no need to bring an agent out to his house. We'll come down peacefully. I'm up on Friday, September 23rd at 6:30 in the morning. It's dark outside. I can't see a thing. I'm down here and there's a bang on my door, really loud, and the doorbell's rung like 30 times or something. It just keeps ringing, ringing, ringing. Well, I said, well, who is it? And they said, it's the FBI, bang, 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 again. I said, okay, stay calm. I have 7 babies in here. Please, stay calm. So I open the door and I show my hands as I'm coming out because I knew that would be important. But what I saw was the last thing I would expect to see. There was 15 marked and unmarked units in my property. And I said, what are you doing here? And they said, well, you know why we're here. The only time I got nervous was the last 2 minutes before the jury came out. And the best words of the day were, Mr. Houck, you are free to go. And that really broke me because I didn't feel like my life was my own.
And even though I was inwardly free, of whatever they would do to me, I knew that I was truly free in every sense of the word.